Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Casey Phil, King Self for Life. Wrestling takes. I'm a day later. Revolution was on 5 hours and 20 minutes. It was on so late, I couldn't do a review right afterwards. Had to get ready to lay down, get ready for work. Had a long day today. Had to handle some errands. Normally, I'm not here around this time. Normally, I'm out handling my other business, doing what I normally do, which is ride share. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about this pay-per-view. Revolution. This is the third edition of Revolution, Revolution 2022. And I want to ask, did TK deliver? He delivered and some. I told y'all that I thought the show was just going to be decent. I didn't think the show was going to be that great. TK humbled me like a mug, and I'm here to give him kudos. You humbled me, sir. I was wrong with two left shoes. Even though the show, listen, I still think these shows are still too long. I still think, for me, I think if you 4 hours is decent. The pre-show, do the pre-show, and then do 3 hours on the regular show. Heck, you can cut that down. You can cut it down to 3 hours and a half, if all I care. But it's still too long. But for me, by far, this is AEW's best pay-per-view of this year. I still think AEW All Out was better. This was definitely better than Full Gear. Ain't even no question. If I had to pick between this and Full Gear, Revolution was 1,000% better. Now, let's go ahead and break down everything that happened on this show, and I will give you all my final grade. But before we do that, I want to take the time to shout out one of the cats in the IWC there I talk with every now and then. Me and him differ on a whole lot of things, but I got to give the brother some props. Y'all know him, Mr. Uncle D. Man, listen, homeboy, listen. He listen. When it comes to this wrestling stuff, he has a very different perspective. But at the end of the day, he's a wrestling fan like I am, and like I said, I always enjoy getting his perspective on everything and everything. And like I said, sometimes we talk, we don't really talk. I mean, we talk in the mentions and all this stuff, but a lot of times we do it where ain't nobody seeing it. And like I said, a lot of times we talk about some stuff that really ain't for airwaves, if you get my drift. It's in-house stuff. Just gonna keep it like that. But I just want to give a shout out to my homie. Shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing, sir. I know you out there in LA somewhere putting up with all the foolishness out there, because I be seeing you out there talking about how you really don't be wanting to go back to the build, even though I know you got a new position where you like 10 minutes from the crib or something like that. But kudos to you, sir. Keep doing your thing out there in LA, man. All right, let's go ahead and break down this show. So, right into the pre-show. Now, the buy-in. I don't like to call it the pre-show, but it is a pre-show, but they call it the buy-in. We had 3 matches on the buy-in, and honestly, I didn't give a care about none of them. But I want to say this is by far AEW's best buy-in they have produced yet. I don't think I liked any of the buy-ins that they had before. It may have like one match on the buy-in that was decent. This one, and the order that they had it, they just flipped around the 2 matches that I had. I had the tag team match starting the show, and then I had Chris and Layla ending the show. They said, no, we're going to kick the show off with the weakest match of the 3. And the reason why I say that is because Chris and Layla, from what they tried, there was a couple botches in this match, but they did okay. They did everything they could to try to get everybody invested in the small little bit of time that they got to tell their story coming into this matchup. But I'm still going to say my biggest criticism for this, the roles are reversed. I think Layla should be the babyface. And I hate to go based off the look, but look at the woman. The woman is a very small woman. Yes, she has muscles and everything. But do you want to root against that? I don't want to root against her because of that. That's what you want to cheer on. You want to cheer on somebody like a legit Layla Hirsch. You want to cheer somebody on like her. Meanwhile, Chris Statlander, who is a physique in herself, who has this, they calling herself the galaxy's greatest alien. But I'm saying to myself, like, has she really gotten over the alien gimmick? And I believe, personally, this is me, I personally believe Chris could have easily got this gig over more if she would have flipped and became the heel outside of outside of Layla. Layla is the babyface, Chris the heel. Nope. Layla cheated. Layla had got one of the turnbuckles things she found under the ring or something like that. Ref wasn't paying attention. She whacked Chris, got the 1, 2, 3 match over with. So obviously they're going to keep this thing going. So obviously we're going to get one more of these. But I still personally think we need a double turn. I know they want Layla to get over as a heel. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Listen, Layla needs a character. She needs a character. I say that, but I still think Layla is more better off staying a babyface outside of Chris. Chris, you can do something with that alien gimmick. You can do something. They could do a whole lot with this if they wanted to, but like I said, it's up to TK. It's up to TK if he actually wants to put more forth an effort into trying to get us to care more about these girls. So, like I said, decent little matchup. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But that's my honest take on that matchup. So right now, I'm gonna talk about this. So as Chris was coming out, I think Tony Khan and them jumped the gun of what they was planning on doing, because in Chris's video interest, I'm looking and I said, wait a minute, that looked like Kenny Omega. I think they messed up something, because they did. They jumped the gun, because let's talk about this segment that happened next. So Tony Giovanni is in the ring and he talked about who he's about to interview. And lo and behold, he said, here comes Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's music goes off right. And then they showed that video thing, what I was telling you, and you seen Kenny Omega's head, but in the dark. I'm like, okay, so Kenny Omega back. Nah, Don Callis, a.k.a. I call him Don the Clown. He ain't nothing but a circus clown to me. Now, dude listen, he's a heel 20 times over, but he is a circus clown to the fullest. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He came out there, took the mic for Tony, told everybody to shut the heck up. Everybody's telling him shut the F up. He said Kenny Omega had the greatest championship run of all time, defending his championship over and over again. And he said the reason why Kenny Omega didn't show up is because of you fans. You fans kept wanting him to wrestle, and he had every injury on the book. Y'all said, no, Kenny, we want you to do this. We want you to give us another 5-star classic. And he did. He kept giving us 5-star classic, got a 5-star classic, but the man was hurt. So now we're starting the slow return to Kenny. So Kenny's right around the door. Me, I still think we don't need Kenny till full gear. I don't need to see Kenny till full gear. I know fools want him back right now. I want him to be 100% ready to go. I want him to get any type of injury he has 100%. Because little one mess up, one little tweak here, one little thing, and then you're going to put you right back out of commission. I don't want that for this dude. Kenny Omega, listen, I didn't know who Kenny Omega was until Cass put me on the New Japan Wrestling. And I still didn't know who he was because I didn't watch New Japan Wrestling like that. But now since he's in AEW, I got to know him a little bit better. And I still personally think Kenny Omega is one of the greatest in the game. I have no hatred for this dude whatsoever. I may call him a clown every now and then. But Kenny Omega is one of the best in the game. And he turned me into a fan. And I personally thought that his title run was going to be great, because I kept calling him Kenny Thanos, because he posted a picture of himself, an animated picture, as if he was Thanos, talking about if you got to do it, you got to do it yourself. And he was putting on all the rings, but the rings were basically championships. And he had collected 2 of them, so now he had to go get 4 more. Well, he was only able to capture 4, which means the Kenny Thanos run didn't go as planned. And a lot of that has to do with the pandemic. But like I said, he was out there running his mouth, talking all this foolishness and saying this and saying that. But like I said, Don the Clown is being Don the Clown. But this is letting you know. Oh, and he mentioned too, he said if he was here, he would be taking that title off of Adam Hangman Page, and not Adam Cole, but he said Adam Cole is going to become the next AEW World Championship. Nope, that was Cole for Adam Cole was not winning. So, so that's that. Like I said, so we move on from that. So we got Mr. Hook versus QT Marshall. Hook versus QT Marshall. This was the mentor versus the student versus the mentor, because apparently QT Marshall was training Hook back, in the school or whatever. So this basically was a proud moment for Taz, because they had Taz come out there to call this match with Excalibur and Tony Schiavone, and this was great. The match did what it had to do. QT Marshall, he he made Hook look great. He got his licks in, so Hook, quote unquote, had to make Hook like he was struggling. But Hook was doing like he always do, doing the no selling, and QT Marshall like, man, I ain't got to put up with this fool. And also, QT actually cut a promo before the match too. He said some foolish shit. I forgot what he said, but he said a promo before the match, and everybody was like, man, just get your behind in the ring and wrestle. So he got in the ring, wrestled Hook. They went out there. Hook did what he had to do. The young man is over. He is so over. He ain't said a word, and he is over. Everybody was out there just screaming Hook all day long. They were saying Hook from the jump. You know Hook was going to win this match. It wasn't even a question. I said in the preview, in the prediction video, I told y'all Hook was going to win this, but they did what they had to do, and I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what this means. I'm not sure, but good match. Very good match. So now we get to this matchup. Death Triangle, which is Pac. He called himself Penta Oscura and Eric Redbeard with Alex Abrahantes out there looking like, man, listen, they look like they left Party City. They think this is Halloween or something. This is not Halloween. We ain't nowhere near that time. These fools out there look like they had left Party City. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I get they trying to get Penta back into that heel role, but they still babyface. So I don't, I don't know, But they was out there looking goofy. Then Eric Redbeard came out. Then the House of Black came out. House of Black came out first. House of Black came out first. All looking like like I said, they all keep leaving like they keep leaving the Freemason party or something. But they came out there. Now they all got the ring together. Everybody looked at the ring. Everybody started doing work. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, for a matchup that I didn't give a rat's behind about. I didn't care nothing about this match. I watched this match, and I can clearly say the cats in this match, everybody in this match looked great. Everybody. And I can personally say that this was Brody King's best match I've seen him in AEW. I have not been on the bandwagon yet. I still don't consider myself on the bandwagon, but I can tell you that this was his best match yet. Buddy Matthews and Pentagon got some serious chemistry. They have some serious chemistry. The fact that they was just moving off of each other, they was doing moveset off of moveset. I say, yo, look at this. I say, this is when you got excellent wrestlers in the ring and you put them together. And if these cats can somehow get great chemistry, you're going to have an outstanding match. And y'all know me, I'm not a fan of multi-man matches. I'm just not. That's just not my cup of tea. But if cats can pull it off, if cats know what they're doing, I'm going to give it props. I'm going to say the match is off the chain. I'm not finna hate on the match. I'm just telling you my perspective. This is my perspective going into or watching a wrestling or whatever. Because like I said, multi-man matches, the beef has to mean something for this match to take place. I don't just want you to just throw this together just because, we got to have this on the show. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like I keep saying about AEW. You don't need to have everybody on the same show. Everybody and mama don't need to be on the big old show. They don't. But the fact that they put this on the pre-show to get everybody caught up, and the crowd, listen, the crowd was hot. The crowd was hot. They wasn't too hot for the first match, but Hook match and the main event in the pre-show, everybody was going crazy. Everybody was going nuts. Everybody was going insane. Everybody was out there doing work. But you knew who was going to win. They had to get their win back. Malachi Black and his crew, they get the victory, and we move on. JR comes out. They're getting you ready because now we are going to the main show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and break down this main card. I called the first 3 matches. We got 9 to go. So let's break this thing down. So we open the show. Now, I was thinking they was going to open the show with Jade and Ty Conti. They said, no, we're going to open the show up with the influencer Chris Jericho and Mad King Eddie Kingston. The crowd loves Jericho with the Judas singing and all that crazy stuff. Listen, I heard the song a couple years ago. I seen the music video. It's decent, but now I'm kind of over it. Fans, they just go crazy. He gets to the ring. Eddie Kingston come out there. Eddie Kingston ain't even playing. He running out there. He ready to go to work. He said, forget all this stuff. I don't care. Let's get to work. Jericho and Eddie Kingston went out there and put in work. They put in work. Now, was this matchup better than CM Punk and Eddie Kingston? Nope. But I tell you this, they put in work. I thought the matchup was excellent. For me, I thought it was a great match. Chris Jericho doing what he had to do. Eddie Kingston out there playing games and acting like he don't know, selling all. He was selling for Chris Jericho like it was nobody's business. I mean, selling. He was selling. And then everything came to fruition. The quote-unquote Eddie Kingston can't win the big one. He did it. He beat Chris Jericho. Now, I was thinking that somebody from... I was thinking that Jake Hager and somebody, and Proud and Powerful, somebody was going to be out there. None of them was out there. Nobody. No interference from nobody. Eddie Kingston went over clean. Beat Chris Jericho. So what was the stipulation? If Jericho beat him, he would let bygones be bygones, shake his hand and say, young man, you made it. Eddie Kingston looked at the man, got up, got into his face and said, you said what you said, right? He extended his hand. Chris Jericho looked at him, pushed his hand away and dipped off. So obviously I think this is nowhere near over. We're going to get another one of these. So this is the same thing that happened with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. It was the opposite. CM Punk beat Eddie Kingston. CM Punk extended his hand. Eddie Kingston didn't want nothing to do with it. Eddie Kingston beat Chris Jericho. Eddie Kingston extends his hand. Chris Jericho didn't want nothing to do with it. So I don't know where we're going with this. I have no idea. But Eddie Kingston finally got a pay-per-view win. It's been a long time coming. My guy finally got one done. So kudos to Eddie Kingston. Jericho and him did a great job. But Jericho was acting extra petty at the end, acting like you the one that said it. You the one that told him that I'm going to shake your hand if you beat me. Now you going back on your word. Sounding like a complete clown. Silly. Extra goofy. But like I said, kudos to these cats. They did what they had to do. So now, I wasn't thinking that we was going to get this matchup. I was thinking we was going to get the face of the Revolution match next. We got the AEW tag team triple threat match for the AEW tag team world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, listen, I know a lot of y'all be thinking I be hating on the Bucks and hating on tag team wrestling and all this stuff. I thought that this matchup was decent. I think the MVPs of this matchup had to be Kyle O'Reilly and Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus and Kyle O'Reilly was carrying everybody in this matchup. And Bobby Fish, man, I did not know this dude talk a lot of mess. He talked so much bull crap. It was funny to say he was just over there running his mouth. He just running his mouth, just blabbing. I'm like, man, Bobby Fish, he a mess, man. But Young Bucks, they did their thing. They did what they had to do. Jungle Boy all over the place. So the name of the game was take the big man out. That's what everybody did at the beginning. They decided, let's take Luchasaurus out so we can focus on Jungle Boy. Meanwhile, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, the Young Bucks, quote-unquote, supposed to work together as they quote-unquote say, right? Nope. That stuff backfired. They ended up had to beat the brick because that's what it always comes down to. It always comes down to a cats who you cool with. If you're in a match against them, it ain't no such thing can they coexist. That coexist foolishness it's going out the door. It's not going to work. And they was doing it for a little bit, but after a while, you knew what was going to happen. And I already knew. And I'm sitting up and saying to myself, like, well, somebody got to lose their titles right now. I picked Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I said it. I said Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are going to win this match. I said it. But I said it wouldn't shock me if Red Dragon won. And they actually made you think that Red Dragon and them was going to win this match. They really did. But Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they survived. So now, this is what I want from Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Until we get to Double or Nothing, I need the tag team titles to mean something. I need Tony Khan to really, listen, I know he loves tag team wrestling. I get it. I need the AEW tag team champions to start making me give a crap about their title run. Because as of right now, you can say they finally did something. They beat two of the top AEW tag teams in AEW. They beat them in a triple threat match. So now you can officially say Jurassic Express is on their way. But the question is, it's all about the booking. I say this all the time. Booking matters no matter if it's a heel or a babyface. Booking matters. For us to give a crap about Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, you got to make us give a care. You got to make compelling storylines for them. You got to make sure that the tag team division, cats got beef no matter what. Make cats have beef, so if you wanted to do another triple threat, it would mean something. And then I would be like, okay, I'm more invested. Not this, we're going to have a battle royal for this one, then we're going to have a battle royal for that one, and then we're going to have a triple threat. No, forget all that. I want cats to have beef with one another. So when it comes down to that, then this matchup, okay, now I get why these cats is fighting each other. Don't just throw it together because I gotta have one again. What's one of my biggest pet peeves by AEW? Tony Khan wants to make sure he puts every buffoon on the show. You don't need to do it. I don't give a care. Matchup was a decent triple threat match. I don't think it was the best triple threat match I've ever seen, but it was a decent tag team triple threat. I'll give him that. It was only decent. It wasn't the best. It was decent. It was a whole lot of foolishness going on, but they did what they had to do. So kudos to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus on retaining those titles. So we move on from them. Now, we get to the face of the Revolution ladder match. Now, the way how cats was getting added to this matchup, I was sitting up and saying, this is finna be in the big, meaty man match until we added Ricky Starks, Christian Cage, and OC. Now, I'm sitting up here saying, well, we know why OC is in this match. We know. But I told everybody, I said, I know a lot of people, especially in Black Wrestling Twitter, I know a lot of y'all wanted Keith Lee, and you probably didn't mind Will Hobbs or Ricky winning. But I told y'all, I already knew the storyline going on with Warlow, with him potentially breaking free from the Pinnacle because he's tired of every buffoon in the Pinnacle. He's tired of that chair-swinging bozo known as Sean Spears. He's tired of this preppy dip poop kid named MJF who thinks he's all that in the bag of chips. He's tired of FTR and they want to be old school tag team behinds and that old school clown named Tully. He's tired of all these fools. He done had enough. He said, I'm tired of this. And based off of how they've been building him up, how he's been getting fed up with everybody in the group, and then when MJF told him, you're not going to win it, I said, congratulations, Warlow. Warlow is going to win. But how are they going to book him to win this match? Ladies and gentlemen, before we got to the dog collar match, for me, this was possibly the match of the night. I enjoyed everything that happened in this match. Everybody became a star for me. Everybody looked great in this match. Will Hobbs looked amazing. Ricky Starks is out there going nuts. Keith Lee becoming another meme, popping up on everybody. You know how he like to do, pouncing everybody all over the place. Christian Cage putting in work, doing what he do because he shines in ladder matches. This is Christian Cage's, this is his plateau. This is what he does. And the MVP of this match, oh my goodness. Listen, and he messed around and got injured. OC ain't nothing but a clown, but this boy, he is so entertaining. This is why I'm a huge fan of Orange Cassidy. Pockets is the man. Listen, I love me some Pockets. OC was out there doing all kind of shenanigans. I mean, just clowning, acting a fool, putting in work. Everybody was working off of everybody. And then the crowd popped when Warlow, Keith Lee, and Will Hobbs was standing there looking at each other. Everybody was like, they was getting hyped because everybody want to see this. They all want to see it. And I said, man, look at this. Man, these cats was out there just putting in work. This was a car crash for real. This is one of the best ladder matches they put on yet. They was out there wilding out, going in, doing. Listen, Warlow and Will Hobbs ripped the ladder apart because they was trying to take out. They took out They took out Keith Lee. They took out Keith Lee. They took out Christian. They was taking out everybody. But the scene where I already knew the moment when Keith Lee and Warlow was getting, Keith Lee and Will Hobbs was getting taken out. Warlow took them both out and they went flying through a tape. I said, oh, that's it. Them brothers is done. They finished. It's over. So now you just got Christian, Ricky Starks. Like I said, OC was taken out because of his goofy self sitting up there trying to jump on everybody, trying to grab the ring and all this silly stuff. I'm like, OC was acting a fool, y'all. OC was out there acting like a complete clown. Man, I said, look at this dude. Oh, see, he a clown, but I love him, man. Like I said, he's the entertainment guy. And how the heck can I forget this? Danhausen, the clown himself, another clown, came out there, quote unquote, put a curse on Ricky Starks to stop him from trying to get the ladder. So he had to get his TV moment. You know, that clown had to show up. He came out there, crowd popped, everybody went nuts for him and everything. He came out there, did that, whatever he do and all that stuff. So after all the foolishness that took place, it came down to my man Warlow, and I think Warlow and Ricky Starks were the final two, and powerbombed that fool, took him out. Warlow climbed up to that ladder, pulled that brass ring down. He is now the number one contender for the TNT title, which means now. Oh, and who was watching? Dan Lambert, new signee Paige Van something. I don't know how to say her last name. Ethan Page and the man himself who's finna challenge Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Listen, I wish they would book Scorpion Sky better. I'm sorry, they really ain't done. I mean, I was liking what they was doing with the America's top players or whatever they call themselves. America's top team or something. I don't even remember what their tag team name was. But it just seems like now it's like they just fluctuating. They just fluctuating around with Scorpion Sky. Scorpion Sky really got nothing to do. He been running his mouth saying he ain't been paying in over a year. We'll guarantee you, because what's going to happen on either Rampage or Dynamite, he's getting ready to lose to Sammy. So this will be Sammy's final title defense. And he will successfully win because he's losing that thing to Warlow unless Warlow gets screwed over. That is the only way Warlow doesn't win, if he gets screwed by MJF. That is the only way. That's it. But this Face of the Revolution ladder match was off the chain. I loved it. I enjoyed every moment of it. It had your entertainment. It had your big meaty man acting a complete fool, beating the snot out of each other. You had OC clowning. You had Danhausen clowning. I mean, you had everybody out there doing work. Christian putting in work. Everybody in this match came out looking great. Everybody came out looking great. My man Warlow, he's on his way. I am 1,000% behind Warlow. I can't wait to see this young man get to where he needs to become. I told you, that matchup had 4 potential main eventers right in it. Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs, Keith Lee, and Warlow right in that match. You had 4. Now Christian is a main eventer, but he's been mainly just plastered in the mid card because that's where he just hangs at. You know, you could push. I mean, look, he did get the main event spot. He did get the main event match against Kenny Omega All Out. You know, but like I said, the 4 who I'm looking at: Keith Lee, Warlow, Will Hobbs, Ricky Starks, right there. So here's the deal: what is the so-called bonding friendship of Team Taz after that match? What is it? Because neither man came home with the win. Will Hobbs didn't come home with it. Ricky Starks didn't come home with it. So what will be the outcome with them? Tune in to Dynamite. So kudos to all 6 cats, including that clown Danhausen. They went out there and did work. Kudos to everybody. So next, right afterwards, we got Tony Giovanni. Now, word already broke. Everybody already seen it. He's not going by Isaiah Swerve. He's going by Swerve Strickland, formerly known as Isaiah Swerve Scott. He has signed with All Elite Wrestling. He came out, cut a promo, sounded like he was finna start rapping, had on the suit, and he couldn't really say what he wanted to say because everybody was already saying, whose house? He said, I just got one thing to say, y'all. Whose house is this? Everybody said, whose house? Listen, the young man had potential like crazy in WWE when he was in NXT. He had potential, but then when they put him together with the Hit Row group, I didn't know exactly what to feel about it because I just thought about it as another stereotypical black gimmick that they love to do because for some strange reason, cats act like they don't know how to book black talent without giving us some kind of stereotypical gimmick. But the young man got potential. Dude can wrestle his tail off. Like, he can wrestle. Swerve is an excellent wrestler. You a dummy if you sit up and say that this dude can't wrestle. You just straight stupid. Dude can wrestle his tail off. So I'm interested to see what TK does with him. We got another brother on the show. Let's see. I know everybody been talking about, AEW is lacking us on the show. Well, we here now. Now the question is, you got us on the show. What are you going to do with us on the show? TK ain't off the hook. He's not off the hook. Some people be like, oh, you go, look, there's, anytime cats have to count somebody, you already done lost me. Forget about counting somebody. It's about how they being booked from here on out. This the foolishness that we get on Vince McMahon's case, but we already know how Vince McMahon get down. It's about how this young man is going to be booked from here on out. Kudos to AEW got him. But now, let's see how he's presenting. Now, let's get to it. Matchup, I thought that was going to open the show. We got the TBS champion, Jade Cargill, with Smart Mark Sterling taking on Tay Conti with Anna Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you right now, for me, out of all 3 women's matches on this show, the one, like, obviously, I thought the AEW Women's Championship match was going to be the best women's match on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to say here, and I'm going to do it right here in this video. Well, I got to. I got to give a standing ovation. Standing ovation. I got to. Standing ovation. I got to. I had to. Bryan Danielson, whatever he is teaching this young lady, the young lady is getting it. She's getting better in the time, and she's getting better on her movesets. Jade Cargill, ladies and gentlemen, she's getting it, man. I am so excited for the future for this girl. I can't wait until she gets, when she get it, it's over. Get out the way. I don't want to hear nobody talking about Jade Cargill ever again. I don't want to hear nobody. I don't want to hear nobody from no community. I don't want to hear it. Jade Cargill was out there putting in work. Shout out to Taya, because Taya is great too. Now, the one thing that kind of threw me off was right at the beginning. Ain't nobody seen this, but the media, but social media, they love this. Right at the beginning. Oh, kudos to Jade coming out there wearing the Mortal Kombat outfit. I didn't peep it because I don't play Mortal Kombat like that, but everybody who saw it, they was like, she was rocking the mess out that Mortal Kombat outfit. She looked good. Jade Cargill is fine to say. Taya's fine too. Jade and Taya are staring each other in the face. Jade grabs the girl and whoop, smooches. I'm like, I don't know what that was all about, but I understand it was a form to throw her off. Whatever. So, it threw me off because I was like, oh boy. I said, oh boy. I said, man, why? So then we get into the matchup. I'm paying close attention to the grappling. I'm paying close attention to the move sets. I'm paying close attention to the timing. And as I'm watching everything, and I'm saying, look at her. Look at this woman right here. Oh, how the heck can I forget this? My man, he called himself Kingfish. Blues player. I think they say he plays a lot of BB King stuff. He played Jade Cargill's interest. Kudos to that dude. Dude was cold as heck. He was rocking the mess out, man. He look at him. Dude was cold. Dude was cold all up on that guitar. He was excellent. He played the mess out of him. So kudos to that dude. Like I said, I didn't know who he was, but a lot of people knew who he was in the IWC, especially in our community. They knew exactly who he was. So kudos to him. Back to the matchup. So we get all to the foolishness that's going on outside. Mark Sterling out there clowning and trying to cause a distraction. Same thing with Anna. Now, Anna Jay was trying to help Tay cheat. So now you got a babyface trying to help a babyface cheat when it's the heel. It's the roles to switch. I told you, AEW need to get this straight. They need to figure out if you're going to be... Listen, everybody can't be Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero lied, cheat, and steal, no matter if he was a babyface or a heel. Everybody can't be Eddie Guerrero, okay? But with Anna Jay trying to get involved, Taya ended up knocking out Mark Sterling. Mark Sterling got back up. And then Anna Jay was trying to get up into Jay's face. Jay said, man, sit on down. She laid her out, kicked her out. So both of them got knocked out, right? So Taya and Jay got back in the ring. They started doing everything. And look here. Taya was trying to get the best of Jay. She was trying. She was trying to get her off her square. Anna was supposed to be the distraction. She was trying to get off her square. And Tay thought she had it done. Jade Cargill said, I ain't going. Jade even got on the ropes and she did her own frog splash. I said, look here. Listen. We are a year removed from when she first showed up. We are 1 year removed, and I said, who is this girl? Who is her? Like, she looked fine as heck. Beautiful. Listen, 1 year in, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year in. And she is improved in so much. This is why I'm like, look here. We knew that she was green from the beginning. Everybody knew that. But listen, she is improving. She has the star ability. She's a star. That's why I say AEW better watch out, because Hollywood is watching. Heck, WWE folk done put it in again in the WWE game already. You know WWE want her, but they quote unquote. That's funny. She did try out for WWE back in the day, but they didn't want her. So now they want her now. People fantasy booking her versus Bianca and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, look here, man. Jade Cargill is coming along, and I'm enjoying the ride. I told y'all every day, I will say this to the high heavens, because I seem to be the only one that got respect for women around here. Most of y'all love calling women out their name. I will never do it. I won't. I don't care how many songs I hear where they say it. I don't care how many television shows I see it. Calling a girl a female dog is not okay. I don't give a care what anybody has to say. I don't care. You can come over to every concert where girls do. I don't care. You can say, what? No. It's wrong as two left shoes. You're looking at me. I'm looking at the camera, and I'm telling you right now, calling a girl a female dog is wrong. I don't care if it's in a song. I don't care what. I don't even care if girls do it. It's wrong. But I got to tell you, Jade Cargill is that woman. This girl is coming a long way, and her and Tay tore it up. Best women's match on this show. I thought it was going to be Thunder and Brie. But when I get to those two, I'll talk about it. Excellent. Jade Cargill gets the victory. She retains her championship. She is now 29-0. This girl is coming a long way. Kudos to one of the GOATs, Brian Daniels. Whatever he is doing, keep it up. Keep it up, Brian. Keep it up, because she's learning. She's taking it in. She's taking it in like a sponge. And I'm enjoying it along the way. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see how long we go with this. I can't wait. I'm enjoying it. I want to see as we move on what's going to be, because look here, whoever is the one to take that championship off of Jade is going to be very important, and everybody's going to be happy for whoever she gives that championship to. But the time ain't right now, because they building something with this young lady. They doing something. Kudos to TK for actually doing something right. Kudos to TK. Hey, I'm gonna give you props, young man. You're doing all right. You're doing all right. But you can do a lot better. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's keep it moving. So now we get to, personally for me, match of the night. I said it. For me, this should have been the main event, because I already knew nothing was going to follow this match. Nothing. And I was 1,000% correct. Look here. So right until we get into the beginning of this match, CM Punk's old music goes off, which is called a personality. And then it don't come out. And then it switches right over to MJF. I busted up laughing. I say MJF is one of those heels that he's a genius at what he does, but you want to see him get his behind kicked every day. And that's kudos to him. He's doing his job right. Dude only 25 years old, and he one of the most hated dudes in the wrestling business right now for all the right reasons. That's when you know you a star on you got a serious star on your hands, when you can make everybody dislike you so much that you want to see him get his behind kicked on a regular basis. Came out there doing all the stuff, cocky as heck, laughing, all this crazy stuff. He get to the ring. So then the arena goes, it gets foggy, and I'm like, I'm like, well, what's going on with this? Then it's like the music, the beat of this track start playing, and the crowd goes insane. And I'm like, did CM Punk change his theme? And everybody say, yo, you do know that's his thing when he used to be in Ring of Honor. Listen, I wish he could keep that. I wish he can use that right now. That theme song was hot. Listen, that was cold. I said, yo, that music is dope. I was getting chills. I said, yo, CM Punk is, look at man. Listen, you looking at a cat that was in the building when he returned. I was at the United Center. I was there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, that was my first ever wrestling show going to. Never been to a wrestling show. I've been watching this stuff almost 24, 25 years almost. I believe. Yeah, about 24 years at best. 20, something like that. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I've been watching it for a good minute. And I've never went to a wrestling show live. I always watch this stuff on television. I was there for that Rampage episode where he debuted. Cats was saying CM Punk from the moment we got into the show. All throughout Dark. And all throughout Dark. They were saying it while we were standing outside waiting to get in. Then he comes out. That crowd, the electric in the building, the electricity, everything. Listen. Look, I had goosebumps. That's how crazy it was. Dude ain't wrestling 7-some years, and now he's back. Came out there and he had his old Ring of Honor gear on that he had back in the day. That intro was, listen, the intro was excellent. I loved it. I said, man, I wish CM Punk can keep it. I truly do. They get into the ring, and MJF looked like he's seen the ghost. He looked like, oh snap, like what in the world did I unleash? Oh, he unleashed. Listen, look, dude might be 40 something. He might be 42, 43. CM Punk was out there putting in work. These two, when they get together, you're not going to get a whole bunch of flips and dives because both of them are old school style type wrestlers. And that's what I like. I enjoyed this match so much. MJF has been impressing me in the ring. Every match he gets. I'm serious. I was not on the bandwagon. I was treating him like a bum. I said, man, who does fool think he is? He can talk a good game. But who does he think he is? Who is he? He been showing me something. He's been showing me something. And I gotta give him props. Listen, right from the jump, after they put the dog collars on, he messed CM Punk up bad. CM Punk was pouring blood all over the place. I said, man. I was feeling CM Punk. I was feeling this matchup was a thriller. I was like, whew. Now, before this match, remember what I told y'all? I had said it in the preview. I was sold. I said MJF was going to win. I still picked him to win, but I said it would not shock me if CM Punk wins because I said the way how he bust him open on Dynamite, I said, man, CM Punk might win this thing. They tore each other up. CM Punk finally busted him open because he said, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna murder you, dude. Oh, did they murder each other? They tore each other up. And the storyteller was insane. CM Punk's knee was becoming the big story in the whole thing. I mean, they was destroying each other. Then MJF went and got them thumbtacks and all this crazy stuff. So, MJF finally got, quote unquote, he got CM Punk down. He calls Wardlow out. He calls him out. Wardlow walks out as if I'm helping this clown again. He doesn't help. The baby face that we've been wanting is here. He was supposed to give him the diamond ring. He gave it to CM Punk. Babyface Wardlow's here, ladies and gentlemen. Storytelling at best. This whole match was storytelling based, and I love it. Anytime storytelling is in a match, it's going to be excellent. And you got two great wrestlers going out there doing work. Wardlow coming out there, gave CM Punk that diamond ring, laid that fool out, knocked him out. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk finally defeats the guy. So I don't know where we going because yes, it's the 50-50 booking. But I can tell you this, MJF is mad and he only has one man to blame. That's himself. He has nobody else to blame. I know he's going to be upset at Wardlow, but CM Punk defeated the man. He tore him up. He tore him up. This was an excellent match. CM Punk got beat down too. CM Punk got destroyed. He got tore up. They tore each other up. It was excellent. I loved it. Some people say, oh man, this is too gory. I said, well, AEW ain't for you. AEW is not for you. This show had a balance of everything. If you want your flips and dives, you got it. You want your goriness, you got it. You want your old school wrestling, you got it. You got your story. This show was balanced out on everything. And this is why I got to give TK props. I had to. Yes, the show was long as that. I still got an issue with that. But you listen, if you come on here and you say that anything on this show, you can talk about Britt and Thunder because I'm about to talk about them. You can say anything. You can talk about all this stuff, but you come on here and talk about that the show was boring, the show was trash. You just a complete hater. I mean, you know me. I criticize AEW through and through. I tell you, if the show is hot garbage, I'll tell you straight up, the show is hot garbage. Revolution, man. But I said to myself, I said, how the heck cats are going to be able to follow this? Because this match should have been the main event. How the heck are cats going to follow this? Right after them, we got Miss DMD versus Thunder Rosa. Now, Dynamite told y'all who was winning this match. If you saw Dynamite and you saw the tag team match and you saw Thunder pin Britt clean, you knew right there Thunder ain't winning. Boy, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, can I say on the main card that this was the worst match on the main card? This was the worst match. Now, they was out there wrestling. It was decent, but it was the worst match. It was the worst. Listen, people are tired of Britt. They're tired of Britt. They're ready for Britt to lose his championship. They're ready for Thunder. This whole notion that Thunder could possibly be hurt, I don't know. Only person that knows Thunder hurt is Thunder is hurt, and everybody working the back. That's it. We don't know. I don't know if she's injured. I'm hearing she is. I don't know. I can't call it. There was so many shenanigans going on. Thunder Rosa had this match won at least 3 times. But see, when Rebel and Jamie kept doing all kind of distractions to distract the ref, I'm sitting up and saying to myself, they're telling you who's finna win this match. Thunder had Britt tapping out. She had a pin because the crowd was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and shout out to Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida was, listen, they was hyped throughout the entire show. As long as the show was, they woke up a little bit for this matchup, but for the majority of this show, they was awake, and I gotta give them props for hanging in there for 5 hours. Probably been there longer because cats had to get there early as heck, so they probably was there for an extra long man time. So kudos to Orlando, Florida, because the crowd was on point. This is a hot crowd, so kudos to them. They did their thing. So, with all the shenanigans going on, Britt and the crew cheating hard. Thunder had the match won. She had the match won 3 times. Miss DMD retains her championship. So now I'm sitting up and saying to myself, no title has changed. Oh, and the IWC was hot. Everybody's like, how in the world did Thunder lose? I was like, did you fools pay any attention to the show? Did you watch Dynamite? Dynamite told y'all. This is why I had a problem with the tag team match. Because I said, why would you have her beat her on the show before the pay-per-view? That's a dead giveaway. That was a dead giveaway. It was, Thunder not winning now. I was sold. I said, Thunder's going to win the championship. Nope. That's why I changed and told y'all on my prediction. I said Britt Baker's going to retain. And then when she retained, I was cracking up because everybody I knew was upset. People online was crying. I'm like, man, chill out. Because now I found out that the St. Patrick's show is in Thunder Rosa's backyard, which is San Antonio, Texas. But now she has to go against Layla Hirsch. It's a number 1 contendership match. Whoever wins gets Britt on the St. Patrick's Day show. And it sounds like it's going to be a cage match, which more than likely is going to be the main event. So 2 weeks, Britt Baker gets a title. And by the way, AEW introduced to us a brand new title. So the last time they did that, whoever got when they introduced the title, whoever was going up for the championship won it. So a lot of people was like, okay, they changed the title. So now Thunder gonna win it. No, Britt retains. She retains, and the crowd was mad. They was booing. I said, ain't no DMD now, because they mad because everybody tired of DMD. Everybody want DMD to go away. Well, you got to deal with DMD for 2 more weeks. So, but the new title, I like it. That new title actually looked like a real world championship. It looked like it's on the same par as the AEW men's championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. It's the AEW women's World Heavyweight Championship. It looks like a legit championship. I like the design. So kudos to whoever designed it. But for me, this matchup, y'all, it was the worst match. It had some decent storytelling. It had a lot of shenanigans going on. But for me, personally, this was the worst match on the show. It really was. So now I'm sitting up and saying to myself, You mean to tell me that the co-main event is this dumb thrown together 6-man tornado tag team match? I'm sitting up here like, yo, my God. But what did TK do? TK said, fellas, y'all go out there and y'all showcase why you deserve to be the co-main event. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I had to eat humble pie. I got to eat humble pie. I'm tripping. I forgot. Before I talk about that. American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. I'm jumping the gun. We got this matchup. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley was a beat down to the highest order. Was it a good match? It was a good match. It wasn't great. I know a lot of people, everybody got different perspectives on this based on how you feel. You got two great wrestlers. You got the king of wrestling versus the guy that I just want to kill you every 5 seconds. I think it was just a decent match. However, these cats beat the snot out of each other. Now, it's funny to say, Bryan did say what he was going to do. Oh, he bust Moxley over. Moxley was bleeding all over the place. But then, that stuff went out the door. Moxley bust him over. So now both dudes are bleeding together. And what did Moxley say? I won't team up with you unless we bleed together. So the storytelling epidemic was right there. So kudos to them for doing that. So obviously you knew the blood was coming in this matchup. Man, they was tearing each other up, beating the snot at each other, destroying each other, tearing each other up. But the guy who I said was going to win this match got the victory. Jon Moxley wins. So after the match, they start bickering, they start pushing each other, and the crowd start going nuts. I'm like, why the crowd tripping? Yo, they cut to the entrance area, and who just walking up out the woodwork? Man, William Regal was walking up, and the crowd was going completely. And I said, yo, I marked out too. I said, oh snap, William Regal is all elite wrestling. But remember, 2 weeks ago on Dynamite, didn't Bryan name drop him, or was it Rampage? He name dropped him. He name dropped William Regal, so I knew he was around the corner. I just didn't think that Tony Khan was going to have him come up. Yo, this was one of the moments of the night. This was excellent. And so he gets in the ring with the Bullfrog, and he walks up to Moxley and he starts smacking him around like a boss. I said, "Dang!" Walking around, boom, 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 boom. I said, "Oh snap! What Regal doing?" So Bryan over there cracking up laughing. He said, "What you laughing at?" Boom, slapped him too. I said, "Oh snap! He got both of these cats in check." Told that man, get on one accord, shake that dude's hand. Told him shake his hand, shook his hand. So I'm just taking a wild guess. William Regal is going to be their manager. That's what I'm going with. So excellent segment. This was, for me, this segment was better than the match. The segment after the match was outstanding. I loved it. It was great. I said, yo, look at this, man. This is, man, TK out here doing work. He out here doing work, man. It might be a long man show, but he out here doing work. I said, man, go ahead, man. Do your thing. Do your thing. We got William Regal on the show now. I'm just assuming that that's what his role gonna be. We don't know. But let's move on. So now, like I said, back to what I was talking about before I talked about this match. So I'm sitting up here saying that this matchup is going to be this co-main event. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Sting, Andrade, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy. When I say that this was a car crash times 50, it really was. These cats was out here doing some of the most insane to the membrane stuff, jumping off of stuff, running through stuff, laying cats out. I mean, even other members of HFO came out. I mean, just everybody get all kind of chaos. Just chaos after chaos. And then the two spots for me, Sammy taking Isaiah, flipping him through the tape. They was done. They was finished. And then Sting old self jumping through 4 sets. I said, yo, he been hanging around Darby Allin a little bit way too long. Now, there was a botch at the end. Matt Hardy did botch Darby Allin's coffin drop, which was goofy as heck. It was just goofy. But listen, this was a car crash 6-man tag team tornado match was actually very good. I cannot hate on this match at all. I cannot hate. I wanted to say I didn't want to see it. I said it shouldn't have been on the show. But Tony Khan said, no, I'm going to let these cats go out here and ball out. And did they ball out? Absolutely. They balled out. Ain't no hatred coming from me on this one. I was one of the main ones that said I didn't want to see this foolishness on the show. TK said, go ahead, throw it on the show. He threw it. He threw it on the show. These cats went out there. They balled out. And Darby Allin and them ended up winning. They got it done. So now we're gonna see where it finishes. So yeah. So now we got the AEW World Title, the main event. Now the main event: Adam versus Adam. How did I feel about this main event? Main event, good main event, decent. Let's talk about the intros. Adam Cole came out dressed like Master Chief, so I'm like, look at this dude. But as usual, over like a mug. Crowd pop, crowd's like, Adam Cole, baby. I mean, they going crazy for him and everything. Heyman came out, his gear on and all this stuff. This was the first match I've seen of Adam Heyman where he ain't somehow found a way to get busted open. Because he did say he was tired of getting busted open. Man. Listen. Listen. Peep the game here. So, now remember, he's tight with the Young Bucks, right? The only team that came out was Red Dragon. Red Dragon came out. They came out to cause the distraction because they got to help their guy out. Bobby Fish Colorado came out, but then right after they came out, the Dark Order came out and threw them all out, so they chased them all off, so it could just be focusing on these two beating the snot out of each other. Story of this matchup, Adam Page cannot beat Adam Cole. That's the storyline. Adam Cole had this match won maybe about 3 times. Adam Page said, no sir, you ain't winning this. You're not winning. You're not winning. He did a lariat, buckshot, you already know. Red Dead Redemption retains his championship, and we move on to Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, the show was 5 hours and 20 minutes, but I got to say, Revolution delivered and some. I thought the show was going to be decent. I didn't think it was going to be great. It was excellent. Excellent in all areas. I think it was still too long. Like I said, if I have any complaints, it was too freaking long. That's it. It was just too long. But outside of that, man, excellent. Kudos to everybody that was on the show. I'm looking forward to Dynamite. Reviews will be back. I will be dropping the Dynamite review. Don't know if it'll be Wednesday night. Don't know if it'll be Thursday. But I will be dropping it just to let y'all know. So the reviews are back. After I said I was going to review Revolution, I told y'all what I said in the predictions video. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I apologize for the noise that you heard. That was my family, everybody just showing up and everything. But Revolution is excellent. So final grade for the show. Didn't want to be unbiased, didn't want to be biased, none of that. Final grade, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Top to bottom. I mean, I didn't even have no expectations. I did because of how TK presented the show and trying to get me interested into the show. I'm like, I don't expect nothing. Then he go out here and he wowed me away, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this cat his props. Let me give him his just due. Did work. So kudos to TK. Kudos to everybody going out there doing what they had to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your AEW Revolution 2022 review. I am your host, Casey Phil, aka Marcel. Y'all know what to do. Hit the freaking comment section up. Tell me how y'all felt about the show. Did y'all think Revolution was good? Maybe there's some people out who generally think that Revolution was hot garbage. Explain yourself in the comment section. Tell me why you felt the show was hot garbage, and I'll do my best to give a response in a respectful manner. I always keep it respectful on my channel. I always keep it respectful. Like I said, I got nothing but love for everybody who tune in. I got love for cats who can't stand my guts. And I know there's a lot of cats out there who can't stand my guts. They say the people who close to you hate you the most. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, this is your boy Casey King himself for Life Wrestling Takes. Hit the comment section up. I'm out. I'll let you boy.